Tonight I'm celebrating Diwali. Diwali, the Indian version of this Halloween, All Souls Night, Samhain, Day of the Dead experience, the Indian version. Now the Indians understand ritual in a way completely unlike any other culture that I've witnessed, although I have not witnessed many cultures before and beyond the Western culture in which I've grown up, which has mostly disregarded all of its ancient rituals. Only rarely have I been able to participate in Celtic rituals, Druidic versions of moments like Stonehenge, and yet it feels like there's very much a broken connection with the practice of ritual in the world into which I've been born. And yet, I'm still finding it. But when you go to India, ritual is in your face. Or at least it was where I visited, nearly every day. A ceremony for a god almost every day of the year. In fact, I'm sure it is every day of the year. And I suppose in that sense, this 365 festivals that I'm celebrating is perhaps in the same line, in the same tradition as the practice that they've developed in those Hindu cultures, where there is something to give thanks for every day, every sunrise, every sunset. There are people making their ablutions, lighting candles, sweeping out temples. For them, the practice of their spirituality is a living thing. It is part of their everyday culture. It doesn't necessarily express any kind of superstition or subservience. It's the practice of living as gods, amongst gods. In Diwali, the festival of lights, many people will light candles and set them afloat, nearly always with a prayer. Even in a westernized India, I'm sure there are many people that will be lighting their candles tonight, and it'd be interesting to know how few of them, or how many of them, accompanied every lit candle with a prayer. A recognition of the momentary passage of time that we call this life. There must have been something that rocked the earth all those years ago that led us all to remember those lights in the sky and to then imitate them with our fireworks, with our bangers and our powder paints. All trying to imitate and to remember the light show that rocked the earth. It's amazing how we forget, and yet it's amazing how we can remember. If we only look into these ancient symbols and remember the stories and the messages they're trying to transmit to us, never to forget how fragile we are, and how one night some lights in the sky might herald a new beginning. So tonight I'm celebrating Diwali. Giving thanks for these lives that we live, for the stars in the sky above, for this glimpse at this tiny portion of a fantastically large universe of which we are made. The same fabric of which the stars are created is the same fabric from which we have been born. And it's that dust that we shall return to, maybe to join those stars in the sky again. So tonight I'm celebrating Diwali and wishing you well.